Ladies and gents, back in business is Anton, your host of Banter's episode 19, alongside his cohort, the villain in Vanier, but we're in Loblaws, still in Vanier, alongside our gunner, Mr. Mustafa.
Hey.
How's everybody doing today?
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. All right, well, let's get to business, because today we've got a crap ton to hit. Lots has been happening in the football world, both locally and worldwide. Starting off with the Fury, NASL, USL stuff, things happening in the States, mainly North America that we're going to hit today. All kinds of subjects, including transfers, supporters, clubs, etc. Gold Cup, that's still in session, as well as Fury things that are coming up in the future. We're going to save that for last. So right off the bat, first thing we want to hit on is the W League for the Ottawa Fury. Big thanks to the coaches. We're the ones who are consistently shaking our hands before and after matches. I learned that at the last two women's matches that, one player decided to come over and give her thanks.
Yes, Lisa Marie Woods.
So,
thank you,
and shout outs to her.
That.
We also learned today that the Fury women fell to Laval 5-4 in PKs, and a very valiant effort. We're sure that this is how it transpired, but hey, you can only go so far after you won the whole thing last year.
Yeah.
So, kudos on them. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to hit.
They didn't lose horribly on PKs. Like, they didn't pull in England where the ball goes skying over the bar, go wide.
No.
They lost by 1 goal, so...
They didn't hire Beckham.
I guess Laval's had our number now because they beat us for our conference title as well as beating us here. So next year we're going to have to be hard on them.
Yeah.
Mark those dates on your calendars.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a couple of players that stood out for me this year. One was Jasmine Phillips, amazing year.
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Love her to death.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And shout outs to her mom, by the way. Not for those reasons, but just because she was very appreciative of our group. So.
Yeah, no, she was. She came up to us one game and told us straight up. Other W League stuff, I guess. We got to see some Canadian clubs, which I loved. One thing about our PDL team is the tall US-based clubs. Toronto Lynx, prolific club. I was pretty impressed with them, except that one coach.
The Scot.
Apart from that, no, we had a solid team. They worked really well.
Well, it was nice to get in those extra footy matches.
Oh, it
for
was.
damn sure.
Yeah. We played a nice possession game. Most teams we played well. A couple blowouts for us. No, they were solid. Nothing to complain about.
London and Kitchener, I think, were the big games. Oh, and the Toronto game, really.
I think Kitchener was the last women's one I was at.
Yeah, the rain one.
I thought Kitchener's a new club for both the PDL and W League, and I thought they were pretty shaky. Actually, I'd say they were the worst team I saw, worst away team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Onto the PDL, also thanks to them for their continuous support and showing their appreciation for our group as well.
Yeah.
Players, coaches, all the staff that we've gotten to know, they're amazing people, all with amazing senses of humor, thank goodness.
Yes.
Because, I was really skeptical at first. Like, yeah, it's cool that we got to meet these people, but I'm always skeptical to think, my brain always wonders if you have some sort of high position. I know just because you have a title, you're still just a human being, but my mind still goes off thinking, I hope they're not stiff,
Yeah.
So, but hey, these people are super down to earth and super friendly. This year was also another strong year shown by the boys. Just as an example, though, we were talking about this yesterday after GPS Portland defeating them 2-0. Having our now second annual pizza run-in with the team.
And Portland players were amazing.
And they were very supportive too. Mainly their coaches. A couple of their players showed their appreciation as well.
Yeah.
But it's been such a strong year, so.
Oh, it has been. I'll go through the standings for our conference at least. We won the conference pretty convincingly. We're at 33 points now. 33 goal differential, which is amazing. Points-wise, we have, what is it?
They're looking at their phones, folks.
I'm looking something else up for us, so that's why.
We finished the year with 35 points, which is amazing from 14 games. 11 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. Huge. Only 7 goals against in 14 games. So second was GPS Portland Phoenix. Great year from them. They're a pretty good team. Vermont Voltage taking third. After that, Mass dropped. If they won last night, they would be facing us in the playoffs, but they lost. So we get Portland on.
Again, it's the rematch.
Yeah, the rematch.
Last time we had. Wow, that was a good game.
Yeah, Azul finishing 5th in our division. Pretty 2, 6, and 5 record, so they'd be disappointed with that. And then it's the fake Boston Rams with 11 points. Not a bad expansion year, I guess.
The only team to score in Ottawa this season.
Really? Yeah.
We blanked everybody.
I was gonna get to that. One of our.
That's actually a cool stat.
Yeah, and Seacoast United Phantoms. Who the hell is United finishing with? An 0-4-9 record, only 4 draws from 13.
1 goal.
Yeah,
one goal.
One goal. Yeah.
One could only hope that Man U will fall that far.
The game
You can only dream.
Yeah, the game where number 17 was limping all game for Seacoast.
Yes.
They had no subs.
Yep.
No coach.
No coach. Their coach, I'm guessing, was playing. So yeah, amazing.
Are you sure it's Seacoast or is that Azul?
May have been Azul as well.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. A couple of coaches actually are player coaches in PDL, which shouldn't be allowed. Yeah.
I think Vermont's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, the bald-headed European dude.
Yeah.
The old man, like the 40-year-old.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember him. Fury players, Will Boje again, great year.
Boje, Piperkoff, my new favorite defender.
Yeah. Ben Compernole.
Yeah. Bush, the keeper, was solid yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Carlo Basso.
Basso for sure.
Carl Hayworth, league leading scorer. He's 12 goals in 14 games. That puts him in 3rd in the league. 12 assists. He leads the league in that. He's going to NASL with us. I want to see him in NASL. He's played for Canada. He's played 3 games with Canada's U23 side. So he's 23 years old. So it's sort of his last chance at really getting up there in terms of a professional career. Hopefully it goes well for him in NASL.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, I really want to see Boje in NASL.
Yeah.
Not just because, okay, we saw him since CCFC, but I think it'd be really great for him, like you said, professionally, and just like you see his work ethic.
Yeah. Chad Bush as well has played for Canada's U17 team. The guy's 18 years old.
He's only 18, and he's that stellar.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
I want to see him in NASL as well. Now, knock on wood, he has 8 straight clean sheets right now.
Nice.
8 straight clean sheets.
Yeah, so hold on. The stats for Hayworth. 36 points, 12 assists.
12 goals.
12 goals. I'm reading what they wrote here.
Yeah.
And 46 shots.
Yeah.
Not bad, bro.
Yeah.
The guy came from FC London last year, Forest City London in PDL, and I imagine he came over because he wanted a shot at NASL.
Yeah.
Which is a smart move. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. I don't know if you saw him. I saw him for a bit. DeSanto. I saw this. I think I saw DeSantos at the Seacoast game. We saw him at the Vermont Voltage game.
He was there at a few games. He was there last night, I saw him.
Yeah. So we're not.
Guy seems humble.
No, there's a few players on the team that he wants.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he went. Well, I mean, you figure, you're joining the organization, you maybe have a sense of responsibility or even obligation to show up to W League and mainly PDL, obviously, because you're going to be dealing with men's next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, also a good chance for scouting.
Yeah. Now, do you guys want to go through the other conferences or just stick to our own?
Actually, I think we could if you want. I just wanted to touch on the fact that I know we hit it before, but Tuesday it's a rematch against GPS Portland. Whoever can make it, please do. Let's bring the noise like we always do,
Speaking of bringing the noise, last night against Portland Phoenix, I thought was one of our better performances. We were amazing.
Yeah. No more drums from now on. Screw the drums. We're leaving the drums.
It's all bleachers now.
Yeah. You're not putting bleachers at NASL? Get rid of that stand. We're bringing in the bleachers.
We're bringing our own metal sheets.
So just really quickly, because it's not really our thing, but other divisions, especially Canadian teams, I'll touch on them. We have a Great Lakes division in PDL. Forest City London won that. They won the league last year, so they're strong. Toronto Lynx are in there as well. They didn't make the playoffs. KWFC's men's side was as they finished 5th in their division, then a bunch of other teams. We have a Heartland division. I imagine that means prairies in the U.S. Thunder Bay Chill won that league, so it's nice to see Canadian clubs winning conferences.
And yet somehow our national squad can't do shit.
WSA Winnipeg ironically finishing last in that division. And then we have Mid-Atlantic Division. Ocean City Nor'easters are always a strong club. I think they knocked us out last year. They won their division. Reading United, that team shares a name with 2 Premier League, 2 English teams. Anyway.
Actually.
So they finished 3rd in their division. And then you have our division, South Atlantic Division, Carolina Dynamo. They're always a strong club. They won that division. That's about it.
So Carolina Dynamo, Carolina Railhawks.
Jeez.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Horrible names. Mid-South Division, Austin Aztecs won that. Texas, I'm guessing, from Texas. And then some other
They're called
teams.
the Aztecs?
The Aztecs.
Speaking of which, I know this is really off cue here. I was watching Coronation Street the other night, and one of the people was wearing LA Aztecs t-shirt from the old NASL days.
Nice.
I just had to bring that up.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is absolutely.
It was good
was great. Oh, Christ.
We've got a Southeast Division in PDL. Panama City, that's interesting. They finished 2nd in that league. A team called Ocala Stampede won that division. Orlando City has a team in their U23s. They draw really well. They really deserve to move up to USL.
Orlando, I think, would be a really cool hub for footy. Somehow in my brain,
they're USL Pro, and they should go into NASL just to have those derby games
with Tampa.
They do it once a year. Both clubs agree to it.
We're going to do a podcast on this later, but Orlando City are in USL Pro, and check out their attendance numbers.
The listeners can't see.
Their average is over 7K.
So Orlando City
that's 3rd division.
in USL Pro. In USL Pro, average 2,000 more than they top USL Pro in attendance numbers, and their average is 2,000 more than the second place team.
Guess what Team USL doesn't want to let go?
Yeah, that's amazing. Northwest Division's pretty a lots of interest from me in there. Victoria Highlanders won that division. Congrats, especially to their supporters club, Lakeside Boys. You guys are amazing.
Beautiful.
I know a lot about you.
Lakeside Boys, that's awesome.
Lakeside Boys own 30% of Victoria Highlanders, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that is. I wouldn't mind that, actually. Here are some shares for Ottawa Fury FC NASL.
I wouldn't trust us.
Penny stocks.
Sure, I'd still buy us.
Hell yeah.
I care more about how the marketing's going than the players. No, you hired the coach and he does the players. Leave us alone. We don't talk about players.
Portland Timbers U23s finished second in that division. Vancouver Whitecaps U23s finished third. They're going to play each other in a playoff game, which is probably going to be huge.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and then Seattle Sounders have a U23 side in there. And then the last division, PDL Southwest Division, Fresno Fugo won that one.
Fresno?
Yeah.
Fresno.
And
why does that sound so
who the hell is a Fresno?
Yep, so there you go. That's PDL in a nutshell.
Is that the no-name brand for Freshco? Speaking of NASL and USL, continuing on that string of thought, Oklahoma City, ding, 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 wanted to go from one league to the next, but USL caught wind of it. NASL's like, yes, we'll welcome you with open arms, and then USL's, fuck you, you got access denied, so boys, have at it.
Okay, NASL said yes first, and then USL conveniently shows up at the door a week later, more or less, with, no, we got a team for USL Pro. There's just me going, you know what? To the finish line. First stadium built. First pitch, real pitch, dedicated, built, gets the team.
Yeah.
First to the finish line. Let's go.
No.
If that were true in the NHL, we'd have the Nordiques back like that. We just,
No, or how about this? First on the show was a real supporters group.
NASL.
wait, would you put a minimum number to that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to show with at least 20.
Okay.
So
okay.
that means we'd lose.
Hell, we wouldn't.
Mind you, we sing for 30, so...
There you go. Yeah,
least.
so minimum
And I eat
20.
for
You have
5.
to sing for 20.
Yeah, okay, so you have to be able to sing for 20, okay.
Just put them in a bar. This side versus this side. Whoever can
I
sing
so
loud.
want to do that one day.
In my lifetime.
Oh,
But USL is there's some odd stuff going on because they've lost the war for Div 2 in the US.
Well, technically you're right, but if we look at what's on paper, a lot of people are going to argue what's on paper because there's a lot of wackos out there.
Yeah.
You know, because we were talking about this before in previous episodes where, you know, NASL versus USL. NASL was supposed to continue on, I believe, as the league below MLS.
Yeah.
But then USL's like, well, fuck that. We're taking it over.
Yeah.
And the NSL is just sort of discarded. Now, on paper, USL is the quote-unquote, I guess you could say, feeder league or...
To MLS.
farm league.
or farm league, you know, a cat, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Basically reserve league
Yeah.
versus academy, and then
Yeah.
those are separate. But anyway, and then now, you know, USL Pro's trying to, you know, obviously garner some sort of legitimacy.
Yeah.
Which I think it doesn't really need that much more effort than it already has.
Yeah.
No.
NASL, I really believe, okay, yeah, they need to make a little bigger push to, you know, they've made a name for themselves, but because, again, people like stats,
Yeah.
because they dropped that notch, now they feel like, okay, well, in the marketing world, we need to make a push.
Yeah.
But, you know, so good on them because they're getting expansions. We are going to touch on that later.
Yeah.
But, you know, with Ottawa Fury FC, for example, you know, I think it's a great start.
Yeah.
Well, the USSF has said USL Pro is a Division 3. They've put their foot down.
Yeah.
USL Pro can kick and scream all they want. USSF will just turn to us and say, no, you're a Division 3.
Yeah.
Take it and run.
Yeah.
Make it the best
But
division.
they have come out and said that?
Yeah.
USL Pro is Div 3 in the US.
And for those of you who don't know, USSF stands for United States Soccer Federation.
No, I didn't say USSR.
That was in the crossword today.
I'm not
It
sure.
was the Beatles song.
What you always have to keep in the back of your mind is NASL, most of their clubs are old USL 1 clubs who split off when they had a disagreement with the league and formed their own league, which
Yeah.
they called NASL.
Yeah.
So right from the get-go, USL and NASL didn't like each other.
Yeah.
And this Oklahoma City thing is just, NASL basically approves a team in Oklahoma City. USL Pro in many ways for me has lost the battle for Div 2.
Yeah.
The second they accepted MLS, the whole feeder league system, I think they put themselves in Div 3. Because MLS went to NASL and asked specifically that, can you
be our farm,
our farm, and NASL
our reserve league.
And NASL basically told MLS to piss off, right?
Yeah.
USL Pro didn't do that. So in a way, I think they've slowly been losing the battle for Div 3, and they don't like that. They don't like it. They don't like a league between them and MLS. They want to be the league below MLS. So there's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming on both sides. It's not pretty.
I think you're right. I think USL really did shoot. I mean, on paper they improved, but in reality, the way we look at things, at least we tried to, they really shot themselves in the foot with what transpired. The way they went about it and how they got there, not the best of ways to do it, And on top of that, like you said, now it's creating this even greater divide between both leagues over who's better and who's supposed to be the feeder and this, that, whatever. I think it's really useless to have that fight in the first place.
It is.
But, okay, so what? I mean, in the end, we know what's what, and to me, NASL still stands out as the better quality. That's
to me, quality-wise, I'd say NASL is a bit better, but in terms of how stable and well-run a league is, I think NASL is much better. USL Pro is losing a lot of battles. And
sticking with that, unless you guys have any last-minute comments, no? NASL numbers of expansion. Now, Jacksonville, for example, I've been told, is a potential expansion team. Puerto Rico is a question mark. There's also a big meeting coming up now. Is this meeting pertaining to the expansion clubs, or is that something completely separate?
It's the NASL AGM, Annual General Meeting. Basically,
so expansion could be part of it? Okay.
I think what it might be, though, meeting-wise, though, it's probably, okay, we had our first part of the season, let's meet and talk about it, and they're going to have another one. I think they're going to have 3 a year.
It's their AGM. Most companies, you have one, but whatever. The point is, it's a meeting.
It's a meeting. They're all going to show up and discuss. Because the other thing about Puerto Rico Islanders is last year the government they had in subsidized them to play, to fly out. This government in Puerto Rico now says no. You want to have a team? Have a team. You pay your own bills. And personally, I agree with it.
Well, it's the same with signing players. If you have the money, spend it. If you don't, well, don't put yourself in debt. Simple math. But then there's some big ass clubs out there who are like, well, fuck that,
Man U, Barca, Real Madrid.
So this meeting we were talking about, the only reason it's important is because it's happening in a few weeks, and basically if there's any announcements that are coming out anytime soon, it's going to be July 25th, 26th, or something around there.
And we're also going to get New York's grand opening.
Pretty soon.
So still sucks they have to join the second half of the bloody season.
Anyway, because of this meeting, we may get an expansion announcement soon. As we mentioned, Jacksonville is making some news, mostly because Jacksonville has a team somewhere right now, and one of their owners bought a part of Fulham. For what it's worth.
Oh boy.
Now here's the question: are they going to keep the Michael Jackson statue outside, or what?
I think so.
So this guy may go up to NASL to have a feeder team or an academy type team for Fulham.
Well, we're no better. One of our chairmen, on the board is part owner of Millwall.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad relationship between clubs to have. Puerto Rico Islanders, I think they're done. Announcements should be coming out soon, but there's a lot of things going against them, and they haven't been playing for a long time, and I think NASL is going to tell them to go away pretty soon.
It's travel time, costs as well. It's too big for teams. Like now you gotta go twice a year to Puerto Rico to go play a game. And them, fuck.
The nice thing about them being gone from our perspective is it opens up an international spot for the league. So it opens up a spot for a Canadian expansion team.
Well, Calgary's underwater right now. Hamilton.
Calgary is serious right now.
I know. But
I'm not denying wanting access to Hamilton, but I would love for a West, like somewhere in Alberta, Saskatchewan, or even Manitoba for that.
How about this? For Jeff, let's go Saskatoon, just for Jeff.
Jeff is a Voyager, we know.
It'll make me hate him even more.
Yeah.
So there, we can have...
Got more reason to hark on you.
No, but Calgary is really serious. I wouldn't be shocked if in a couple of weeks we hear they're getting it.
Well, let's face it, their mayor, when he got elected, I think it was a couple months in, he actually came on and said, there's one problem this city has and no one talks about. When people are like, what? The amount of immigrants we have a cricket pitch problem in this city. They're like, what? We have so many Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans coming over to work, and they like to play cricket. We don't have enough pitches for them to play on.
Yeah.
And it's just been going, you wouldn't hear that in Ottawa.
No, they complain about how many golf courses they want to add on.
Yeah.
No.
I wanted my own golf course, so I want my own golf course.
Yeah.
On that trend of fans and supporters, at least in the MLS now, there's this famous YSA chant, also known as "You suck, asshole," for whenever there's the opposing goalkeeper making a goal kick. Now, GSU is the Red Bulls supporters club.
One of them.
And the main one?
No, they got three.
Main ones? They kind of join forces.
Yeah, it's like Red Patch Boys and U sectors.
Right. So anyway, the New York Red Bulls were trying to buy off their supporters club and, to either not using it or using an alternative one.
Yeah.
And the supporters club basically said, well, fuck you, we're still sticking to it.
Yeah.
Basically, quote unquote, as Stefan says, defying them, which, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because we all know MLS and Don Garber, they want to get rid of that shit. So.
Yeah.
What they said is, in their statement, they said we think it's childish, we don't like it, but it's the principle.
Well, which statement from who?
From Garden State Ultras. Their statement was more or less, we kind of think it's childish.
Okay.
But it's the principle of the fact. You're going to buy us off with one, what else are you going to buy us off with?
Yeah.
And that's why they had little tifo say not for sale.
Yeah.
I was explaining to Anton, New York Red Bulls is trying to use the carrot.
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake is using the stick.
Eat your carrots. Eat your carrots.
But don't go to East Salt Lake and sing that. You might get kicked out. Because now you can't do anything related to you suck. Whatever.
Whoever.
I'm sure if you went, oh, douchebag, you still get in trouble. We get in trouble for going, oh, wanker there.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Can we get in trouble for saying cupcake?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
We might hurt somebody's feelings who's watching on TV who doesn't care. Like, this is just, it's all about TV ratings, but Real Salt Lake is one of saying, if you continue doing it, we're going to give you 3 games to clean it up. If you continue doing it, we're going to take away your flags, we're going to take away your drums, we're going to take away your megaphones, your banners, your tifos. So just me going, you asking for trouble?
Yeah.
You allow this to happen because...
This is MLS or the club again?
This is the club. But the MLS is... The letter they sent to the fans, it's also co-signed by the MLS.
Yeah.
So...
Sort of has to be.
So basically what's happening, if I'm wrong, please correct me, is the MLS has a goal in mind for how they want to control the environment.
Yeah.
Particularly with supporters clubs. Even though they have designated fucking sections.
Yeah.
With signs that Stefan is so adamant for us of getting, which I totally am for. And
we'll make our own.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll sneak in at night and just post them up.
And so the MLS has a goal and how they want to control everything, and with the groups, especially with what's being said by the groups, in particular certain chants. But then making the clubs themselves do the dirty work for them.
Yeah.
Is what you're telling me. Like, this is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, it's... Well, we all know it's because of TV ratings. Like, as I posted up on the...
I think it'd be great for TV ratings.
It actually would be.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's
Because then we would attract more idiots like us, you know.
Yeah. But there's worse things said in English games, and it's broadcast and it's uncensored.
Really? Well, if you have that on TV, wouldn't you have to have a PG tag?
Yeah, you just tell them this is what it's rated PG-16. 16.
Well,
Yeah.
do you want to? Have you already mentioned the M thing that you want to do?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Do
Yeah.
you really want MLS or soccer games rated PG-16? No, because you want to get the kids in.
Oh, you just say, listen, you may hear some crude language.
Okay.
Just warn it. Just warn.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
If
Deal
you,
with it.
if you hear something dirty, don't be surprised.
Yeah, that's all we're asking. Is just accept it.
Yeah.
Well,
This is a league that went advertising. Look, we work so well with the supporters.
The funny thing is,
Then
Hand in
don't
hand.
fuck that up.
And then you turn around and says, oh, by the way, you can't say that. Why not? Well, it might offend somebody. Whenever I say we can't say something, I'm thinking, how much trouble are we going to get into? What area of the...
I mean, this is, I mean, we talked about this, the episode driving back from Toronto after the Canadian game.
Yeah.
You know, with particularly Mustafa and I being moved. I mean, well, we basically got a seat upgrade. Hey, great. But it was just again, it's about principles, which Stefan is trying to get at.
yeah.
You know, because first of all, we're in the main supporter section, like it's always been that way.
Yeah.
They had the signs right there.
Yeah.
And families didn't understand the general admission thing.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand the whole, us cursing, swearing, and chanting, the whole supporters club culture.
Yeah.
The one question it raises me, okay, now we all know about how, the security was treating us, and, the one security guard, he kept hearing me say the C word all the time. Just because I figured, well, this is the perfect game to just unleash it all. Just keep going. Anyway, so of course he hears me and he says, oh, hey, you shouldn't say that. Is that how you were brought up? I'm like, okay, for you, I'm going to shut up because I'm not going to waste my breath arguing with you.
Yeah.
And I want to have fun with my friends, so if it means shutting up to make you go away, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, the questions it really made me raise with, regards to the families and how they didn't really understand what was happening, especially with where we were and who we were with, was, like, how were they, first of all, how were they able to even get tickets?
Oh, that's easy.
Number one, because, the tickets that were sold to us were tickets that were bought by the club, yes? By the Voyageurs.
By a member of the Voyageurs.
Yeah. So a
Yeah.
member of the Voyageurs had bought the supporters sections.
Yes.
And then through that, we just say, hey, buddy, here's my $20, give me a ticket or however many, right? And then he just sort of mails them off, and then, eventually everybody. So if he or she, I'm assuming is he, but if he or she from the supporters club had all those tickets, and other people who managed to get them through this guy, how does shit get lost in translation?
There's two simple things. One, originally he had access to the whole south stand. Voyageurs had access to the whole thing.
Okay.
Then CSA stepped in and said no. So then he only had 114. If you remember that big night with the big rush trying to get a hold of everybody, that's why that happened. And again, thanks to Benjamin for helping me out with that.
Huge thanks to Benjamin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But some people, remember how I said, oh, it's sold out? The Voyageurs weren't sold out. So some people knew about it, so they went on the Voyageurs forum and bought some.
Okay.
But it's still going...
Okay, well that's good. So if you went on the forum and you found out that way, great. But if you didn't know what the Voyageurs are or who they were and what they do...
Yeah.
Like, okay, great, you wanted to buy a ticket because you're an avid soccer fan, you want to go support the Canadian women or whatever, or just national soccer in general. How I just don't know.
I have the same question,
That
actually.
little,
It's
that
cheaper.
little piece of info, like you know who you got it from, you know the source, and yet you don't know what they do or who they're about. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
That's
I
just
have the same question. I don't know. I know they're cheaper, so
I saw some kids on the train wearing their green kits to the game.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, where are you playing today?" I said, "We're going to the Canada game." I'm looking. When's the last time we played in green?
Yeah.
Oh, well, these are our jerseys.
I don't mind them doing that.
From our team.
Just
And then I
put
said,
them out of the supporter section.
And I said, okay. No, I asked, where are you sitting? Oh, we're in 117. I looked at it and I said, mind you, the dad looked at me and says, yeah, I know. I have season tickets there normally. I didn't want them to sit there. But no, the mom said the coach was right that they should sit in the supporters section. No, it's like
Jesus Christ.
I'm with my cousin. My cousin's just shaking her head. And he goes, what? When it comes to sports and sports culture, a wise position is not to get involved. I'm looking at her, really? This is coming from a woman's point of view, folks. A single mom. Her point of view.
Yeah.
Like when she talks about her son going to a soccer game when he's older. He's not allowed in the supporters section until he's 12.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fair.
And then he's only allowed in one with me till he's 16. She has 4 years.
That's fair.
He has 4 years with you.
Yeah. Don't worry, my brother's had it worse.
So the kid, so that's the compromise.
Yeah.
You get to go in early at 12 years old. That's awesome. That's a cool mom right there. But look who you're with.
You gotta stick with your cousin Stefan. But it's okay. He's up with other people. Just make sure Stefan knows where you are.
Exactly.
So you might get a friend.
Exactly. Yeah. Might make a friend.
Yeah.
Might even get to drink some apple juice. Anyway, speaking of more supporters club stuff, now here's the positive shit from Detroit.
Hey.
Go for it, Stefan.
They're Detroit City FC is what they're called.
Yeah.
They call themselves Le Rouge.
In the NPSL.
Yeah, 4th division, so PDL.
Ooh.
More or less level.
Ooh.
Which I really think the USSF's got to get cleared up.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, they've been turning out great numbers. 2000s tends to be their average.
Nice. Nice.
2000 for a PDL style level game.
Yeah.
Maybe what works for them, it's not PDL as it were, but more like CSL style.
I think their
probably CSL.
Alouette, Gentil Alouette chant that you love so much is a big attraction. Might be the most useless song that means shit all about the game, but fuck, it is amazing.
Have you seen my wife? If you guys are wondering what it is, look up Northern Guard supporters Alouette. That's all I'm telling you. And make sure it's the 4-minute version, not the short stuff, because the 4-minute version gives you the whole song.
They basically revamped Alouette, Gentil Alouette, the French song, but turned it into their own supporters club song, which is absolutely funny. The only way a supporters club knows how to.
Yeah.
Anything else on it? Or you just wanted to talk about how amazing
I just want to give them respect because they've been popping up in Fox News online in soccer recently, and this is Fox. Like Fox doesn't care about. They don't care about soccer. Let's face it. They lost the contract for EPL to NBC. They're in the process of losing the World Cup contract.
For televising?
Yeah. So.
Something tells me NBC's probably just going to carry it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're talking American corporate.
Oh, I read something else about World Cup contracts, by the way, for Canada. CBC says they will fight TSN to keep the World Cup contract.
Oh, good.
Thank you, CBC. Thank you. You have my vote 10 times 20,000.
During the World Cup, if there's another game on, they put it on bold. And for that game only, so more or less hour before, hour after, so talking heads bit, CBC Bold was free.
Nice.
What's CBC Bold?
Some other CBC channel.
Their HD channel.
weird.
Yeah. Or did they get rid of the line? But more or less, they found a way to make sure that you could go to their website and stream the games if you missed all
That's
three.
what I love. You can stream them.
I watched 2 games at once.
It's beautiful.
Did you?
Yeah.
Internet bill comes in a month later.
See, this is why
No,
when
it's still on. I got the internet bill for a video game or to play video games online, so they expected huge high usage from me.
But this is why I like Windows 7 and Windows 8.
Yeah.
Because you can do split screen.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway, let's go for it anyway. Apart from supporters talk, lately there's been a lot of transfer, especially transfer window and EPL.
Yeah.
But there's also been a lot happening with Titanic FC and other clubs as such. I know the big thing for us as Villain supporters is, Banter gets re-signed for a 3-year expansion. On top of the young guns they acquire, there's about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Guzin re-signing, Villar coming back. I mean, okay, sure. This is all good news, but I'm still expecting a fucking disappointing year anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how's
how's preseason gone?
We draw what we want.
We draw what we want. And well, I mean, three friendlies against Bundesliga teams.
We drew Wickham.
Drew them all. Had our first English squad from which league?
I think they're in the bottom.
Is it Wycombe?
Wickham.
Drew them 2-2. So we're still on par with our
Yeah,
expectations.
that sounds about right.
But I mean,
Goal differential
but
minus.
I've been reading.
I don't think it'll be Serbia. I think it might be Toronto winter. So maybe 5, minus 10, minus 16 tops. Like I don't see us having
So we're not going
relegation.
to have our massive goal differential like we started off last season.
I've been reading. Sunderland hasn't done anything.
Sunderland?
Yeah, they were on the slide. Norwich hasn't signed anybody. They were on the slide. So there's teams are coming. Also, Crystal Palace is
we haven't heard anything about Rooney, have we?
No. Well, I think Rooney. What he pulled Benteke pulled the stunt Rooney did, asking for a transfer because he wanted more money. So, hey, you sign a contract to play for this long, for this much, you play for this long and for this much.
Yeah.
If we think we should pay you more, we will pay you more. I don't go up to my boss and say, hey boss, I know I said I was going to work for you for 3 years at this pay, but I think I've done really well, so I want to raise or I want out.
Well, guess what he's going to do? He's just going to fire you.
Yeah, he's going to look at the door. Okay, there it is. Bye.
See ya.
We're not going to pay the rest of your contract, by the way.
Well, think with contracts. How many overpaid players do you come forward and say, make my salary lower?
Yeah. Who was it?
Well,
Alfredson.
Alfredson Hockey,
Yeah.
for our local guy, he took a lot of pay cuts for many years.
Yeah.
He knew.
Petrov took a few, actually.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of teams
Yeah.
are
And
smart.
Petrov was the leukemia victim, but he's still alive. He's not dead.
A lot of teams are smart that way. They'll sign a young guy who's unknown or uncertain for a long contract, and then
Yeah.
they'll expect him to peak, and they'll get a bit of a deal, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. You signed a contract.
This is
I mean, you can't
business.
say, yeah.
If you think you're gonna do well, ask for a bit more. If you think you're gonna do well, but
Yeah.
it's just.
And then there's TFC letting go of O'Day, Silva, Forlan.
Oh,
Diego Forlan is who they're going after.
The rumor
okay.
mill is going for Diego Forlan.
So TFC's going. Okay, rumor is they want to get Forlan,
Yeah.
but they let go of O'Day and Silva, who supposedly were
Silva.
two of our better players.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
see.
Which to me is not saying much.
Yeah. Well, O'Day was a decent defender.
Irish international.
Yeah, but he was decent enough compared to what the rest we had.
He was aging. I mean, for TFC, he's not going to do anything short term. I don't care.
Yeah.
The big one for me was Silva. This guy's like 21 years old.
And he's a good attacking midfielder.
Yeah. So why let him go? And what's a lot of people are speculating is they're making cap space for Forlan, which would be stupid. The guy's like
Well, if you have no one to
He's
get
an
him the
old
ball,
fogey.
he's useless. He needs to get the ball. If you have no system to get him the ball.
It's just you comment on this a lot about MLS going after aging stars.
Yeah.
That's exactly what TFC's doing, giving up a 21-year-old with so much potential.
With a 36 or 37-year-old who has a few,
That has been like.
has a few.
He may sell tickets, but apart from that,
Anton, I have a 2-year-old Ferrari. I want to trade it in for a 10-year-old used Ferrari. Can we make a deal? I'll pay you.
That's pretty much what they're doing.
It's just ridiculous. Like,
Boss Doc's gone too, which sucks.
it's like
So I find it absolutely hilarious how TFC has consistently sunk, and when you think things couldn't get worse, they get worse. They manage to find worse ways to make things worse.
Let's really have a good laugh at this as Ottawa supporters. Guess what they're doing to their Toronto fans in Ottawa?
What?
Giving them a reason not to go down to Toronto for a couple games a year. Not to buy new jerseys.
Yeah.
Not to buy TFC gear. Not to drink beer, their food, drink their overpriced pop, eat their $5 a slice pizza.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're giving them reasons, and they're going, oh, we have all this market value. You're killing it.
You are. Every golden goose they had has been shot.
Like, I'm going to laugh when MLS
Very well
comes
said.
in and just slaps MLSC and said, no, you're starting in the club. The club's going to stay, but you're not in charge anymore. They're not
MLSC has changed a lot in the last bit, but
there's still a few people that were there from the start that are still at the helm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Especially what was that balded guy?
And Selmy.
Yeah,
still
probably
there.
him. Anyway, because he just keeps yammering on and on and on.
Most of them have no clue what they're talking about. And there was a quote from one of them. I had to look up who this team we are playing in a friendly is. Just go to Wikipedia, find out. That's how you scout players too.
Probably. We need to play a European club. What's a big name in Europe? No, we can't bring Man U. They're too expensive. Hold on, we have a big Italian community in Toronto. Let's go for Italian team. Okay, Inter Milan can't afford it. AC can't afford it. What's a big? Oh, AS Roma. They're big, but they're not that expensive. It's like bringing Liverpool. Once big teams, not so much.
Yeah, well.
Watching the TFC game today, though.
But they just want to bring him in for the name. That's all.
Yeah.
Roma's going to play the MLS All-Stars, and just something cool I saw at the TFC game was an ad that said Rome wasn't built in a day. Which is cool.
My friend actually, who lives in Toronto, particularly in Scarborough.
Yeah.
I think in Scarborough. Probably Markham because he's Asian. Anyway, the thing is, he's a huge AS Roma fan.
Nice.
Massive Roma. He loves Serie A. That's his thing. And but he also follows pretty much everywhere. He's a real font of knowledge like yourself.
Cool.
So we kept going on, and he goes, dude, what's the seating like in BMO Field? And I had to explain to him, like, you've never been to a TFC game? He's like, dude, I don't follow that shit. I'm like, okay.
Good for you. Save yourself the heartache.
Yeah. And he goes, no, I'm trying to get Roma tickets. I thought, oh, is that your team? He goes, yes. Like, I do follow other people, but Roma's my main one. I thought, oh, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on track here. Gold Cup, that's been happening. Well, it's been happening for a while, but surprise, surprise, Canada gets ousted within their 3 matches. That's it. It's pretty much any tournament we go to, they're like, okay, you're guaranteed this many games. Chances are that's all Canada's going to play. And of course, we what do? We lost 2 or drew 2?
Drew 1, lost 2.
We drew on lot, yeah.
Although one of our losses kind of felt like a win, ironically.
Yeah, the one against Mexico.
So the first real topic we wanted to touch on is Panama defeating Cuba. This is a quarterfinal.
This was today, Saturday, the 20th of July, quarterfinal. Panama beat Cuba 6-1.
Let me double check because Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago are playing
That starts
right
at 6:30. It's going to end soon.
TNT.
Come on,
Dynamite.
TNT's coach, guess who it is right now?
Oh.
Kevin Hart. Or no, he's Canada's former coach, Stephen Hart.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, bro.
Well, you don't want to
He
do
got
it.
Trinidad to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And he
I
beat
still like
Honduras.
I like our new coach because he says, "Well, I love a challenge." Okay, good.
First words when he walks in, I love a good challenge. Do we have a challenge for you?
Yeah,
We've got the ultimate puzzle.
We got a head organization with its minions, who its minions fight within themselves, and then the minions fight with each other, and then they fight each other while they're fighting with the head honcho.
Yeah.
Have fun dealing with them.
So while you're looking up Mexico, Gold Cup has had. Do you want to hit up match fixing now or later?
I wanted to hit that after.
Okay.
It's still 0-0 right now.
Okay, Mexico. Who's Mexico playing?
So,
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
So like Mustafa said in Gold Cup, there's also, like, because we've talked about this in CSL, there's also, I shouldn't say there's a speculation, but, you know, Stefan's doing a good job in trying to prevent any rumor mills happening even in PDL, at least on our side.
Yeah, I don't want to be tipped for
But
it.
the thing is, Gold Cup being how it's been, being how it has been, and also the association it's with in CONCACAF. Yeah, and also how, you know, teams tend to fare.
Yeah.
You can't help but think, you know, okay, sure, the U.S. can pump so much money into their team and bring success. Okay, sure, that's believable.
Yeah.
Look at EPL squads. But then again, they get into debt. But then again, you know, teams who should win, who aren't, and it's happening consistently. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
You know, thanks to Mr. Raycroft, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why humanity, people are greedy in general in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They want to go to more games. That's kind of considered greedy. They want more knowledge. That's considered. We're greedy in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Could be good greed or bad.
Yeah. Like good fat and bad fat, right? It's fat to me, which means it's bacon.
Love bacon.
No,
Anyway.
but it's just, you know what's going to happen, but let's face it. Besides Mexico, who takes this tournament seriously?
Probably the U.S.
The U.S. Yeah.
I figure the U.S. does. In Canada, obviously, it's not a big deal because A, it's not hockey, and B, even the, you know, amongst the supporters, not many of the supporters support it.
Well, as a supporter, I didn't take this one seriously. The second I saw our roster, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, people, okay.
I know. Go ahead.
It's good that you mentioned that because, you know, I haven't been following it that well, to be dead honest.
This one? No, I didn't.
No, like ever.
Okay.
Except for that one year where we actually won the thing, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Our soccer, because I always knew our soccer team was, you know, below par, below average, or just darn right crappy. And, you know, and then
Now
there's that.
you've learned the truth.
Yeah. And then, you know, we do well that one year. I thought, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
You know, but of course, you know, us being us and our country being our country, you know, it's more hockey driven, curling driven, winter sports driven than anything else.
Yeah.
Hell, they'll take baseball before But the thing is, you know, you got people like you who not only have been following it well enough, and also the players. You know, you can just look at the roster. You can, you know, check out other, you know, nations and their squads, and have a feel for like, okay, you know what, this one's probably not going to be, you know, there's less than the amount of little hope that we always come with, you know. And then, or you know, someone like me, you know, it's just, well, it's if I have the time to, you know, if I'm free. And there's the footy match on, I am going to dedicate my time to that footy match.
Yeah.
Because I've become this huge, it's become my new addiction thanks to this kid.
That's good.
Well, because his dad, and, you know, first of all, they got me on the Villa bandwagon. Now it's become my lifeblood in EPL.
That's a lot of frustration between Villa and Canada.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Thank you, Fury.
And then there,
The good thing that's going to come out. I can see clearly now.
like there's TFC Canada Villa. That's a lot of heart attacks, and I haven't even had any put in a long time. And there's PDL, W League, where we can actually see some wins consistently.
Yeah.
Great. This kind of levels it off, and I know this is generating hope for me for next year. But anyway, Gold Cup. I mean, like I said, we've seen this road before. We've been down this road before. CBC made that story why thanks to Ben Raycroft, because he made that courageous step in just coming out and saying it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, thanks to the Voyageurs who also, were handing out those cards, sending, basically getting the word out, word of mouth, and getting people talking about it.
Yeah.
So like when Ben, does his thing, it was kind of like, at least within the supporters, we kind of had a good idea about it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the public gets into it. So to me, I think the way it happened was great. It brought it to the light. But again, because of the other sports and how much importance is placed on these other sports besides footy, even though footy has grown largely in Canada way more than it has in years past.
Kind of more that
but
level.
Hockey, basketball, baseball, maybe even cricket and rugby.
Yeah.
All these other sports tend to take more precedent than soccer, although soccer is becoming one of the more popular ones.
Canada has their own cricket league.
Especially amongst kids during summertime, especially.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the thing I've been seeing, I've been seeing a lot with older adults that don't like songs that, that's a girls' game, or that's what you put kids in during the summer.
Yeah.
It's just something so they can have the kids out of the house for a bit.
Yeah.
And
go get some exercise.
Well, we've always been good at the grassroots level. We've heard 1,000 times that we have more people registered in soccer than any other sport.
Yeah.
It's translating that grassroots success onto the national team.
Yeah, it's just because soccer's cheaper to play.
Did we hit up match fixing?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to touch on.
One thing about the Gold Cup that's been really odd is Belize, the country. Their players have straight up said they've been approached by a match fixer. Now, why you approach Belize and ask them to lose is beyond me, because they're going to lose. But if you look at their scores, the first game was a 6-1 loss to the U.S. That's expected. Then a 1-0 loss to Costa Rica, expected again. Their last game, they played Cuba, and basically the way it worked is the top two third-place teams move on.
Yeah.
It was going to be Martinique and someone else, and for Cuba or Belize to take that spot, one of them had to beat the other. I think it was 4-0. Check out what the score was. It was 4-0 for Cuba.
Yeah.
So in a way, there's nothing been confirmed yet, but there's a lot of sketchy stuff going on.
But if what you're saying is correct, and I assume it is, the players physically came out and said, "Yeah, we've been approached."
Yeah.
I tend to lean to the players' side.
Yeah.
Because what happens, especially in North American sports.
Yeah.
Okay, I even see it in EPL sometimes.
Yeah.
When you have a post-game conference or post-game interview.
Yeah.
How very vague in general their statements are. It's almost, there's a lot of cliches they use.
Yeah.
So whenever they actually come out and say something very direct and specific, I tend to side with them, because it's a rarity, and it's also a side of the athletes that it's nice to see, because it shows that they're human like us, and they don't want to take crap from other people who want to bribe them. And they're also trying to set a good precedent to the grassroots level.
Yeah.
And et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. It's just very sketchy, because the exact result that CONCACAF needed to eliminate Martinique, which is a country they didn't want in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
It happened, right? So I know the players have come out and said
by the exact score.
It had to be at least 4. It was 4-0.
Yeah.
So the players have come out and said something. It's just behind the scenes stuff may have been going on.
Yeah, well, then you get I know it's not on there, but one of the recent articles published on Canada Soccer News about should teams have to qualify for the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The Gold Cup was set up later. You already had a Central American tournament. The Caribbean already had their own little tournament going.
Yeah.
It was just the U.S. going, well, we want to be part of it. Okay, fine. Your top four, Mexico, ourselves, and Canada could be in it, but we host it.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I know. I know we talked about it before, where with Copa America, Gold Cup amalgamating.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been any progress.
I think it's going to happen one time, 2016, for Copa America's 100th year.
So to
The
amalgamate.
States is hosting it, aren't
Yeah,
they?
apparently.
Yeah, figure that
Surprise, surprise, yeah. But anyway, I think it'd be great.
For them.
I think the idea of amalgamating both and having North, Central, and South America just smashed together. Let's have our own like intercontinental thing. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And yes, to have everybody actually qualify for this fucker, you know, like don't just be like, oh, these guys get automatic, but all you shit teams, you gotta work your ass up. No, everybody, you get thrown in the mix.
There's no such thing as a shit team.
Draw from the hat, how the groups work, and then have your own little like group of death if possible.
Yeah.
And and then just go have at it. And I think it'd be great. But of course,
more worth it.
Exactly. And but like Stefan says, because of course America just has to be the host. No, look at us, because he always mentions we're very raw, and it's true. This is why I'm trying to, not quote, but paraphrase what you say.
Yeah.
Because I would love for that to basically flop on the American side.
Yeah.
Not just for their team, but for the fact, like I want them to do a shit job at hosting.
Yeah.
I know they probably will, but my wish is like, come on.
We just need people to call them bomb threats to the airports and the train stations, so fans and teams can't go to the next game.
Exactly.
They're gonna pull the same stunt
But you know
with
what?
the Gold Cup.
But you know what? If and then that's probably going to be the reality. But but I really hope that if that were to happen and they do the every 4-year thing.
Yeah.
Actually do like World Cup or Euro Cup where you have to vie for your put your country in for bidding.
Yeah.
To host.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things CONCACAF can do with just the Gold Cup to make it more legit. And the first thing is make it every 4 years, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's a really great step to watch. See Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
On TV, and CBC again stepping to the plate and saying, "Hey, we're the fucking soccer."
I do have one beef with them though about the Confederations Cup. If it was a weekday game, you couldn't find it on TV.
Yeah.
You had to put on some cooking show. Right. Okay, hold on. So you're telling me that Brazil's playing a good team and you don't have it because you want to put on cooking?
Yeah.
Huh?
Or Stephen.
Well,
exactly.
And especially because they made a huge splash of advertising saying, watch CBC, watch Confederations Cup from this date to this date. Don't miss the action. And what happens? Well,
we're streaming it online. You can watch it online. What if they don't have internet?
Yeah.
What if the computer's in the shop?
What if?
Yeah. But bottom line here, I guess we were touching on Gold Cup, and I guess rotate the hosts, and I had the match fixing thing. No, like we're in the quarterfinals right now, and this year's tournament is, for me, it took a bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
so there you go.
It wouldn't have taken such a backseat for me hadn't the games had to start later than they did. I mean, like there was that one time, the game was they're all nighttime for us, weren't they?
Yeah, 5:30 and 11.
One was afternoon.
One was afternoon. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the one that I did see.
Yeah.
But the other two, I'm sorry,
Well, don't worry, the Georgetown, we had a drinking game.
Yeah.
Drink every time you see Jeff. Because every time the camera passed over the Voyageurs, you saw Jeff in his sunglasses.
Yeah. So moving on to the announcements, Fury FC for the NASL has announced that Admiral is going to be the company providing the jerseys, but not the actual sponsor on the jersey. No. So thank you for picking a company that starts with the letter A but doesn't rhyme with Adidas. I know Stefan is the biggest and most proudest fan for that.
Yeah.
So
big shout out for taking that. But also Admiral, before Nike, Reebok, Adidas came along, they were one of the top companies.
Yes, they were.
Like you see one of my jerseys, my Loyalist College soccer jersey.
Yeah.
That's
Admiral.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
They were huge in the 70s and 80s. They designed England kits. They did some Leeds kits. They were huge.
What's really cool is that you can go look up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Any club that ever existed, and it'll tell you who their sponsor was, or who their jersey provider was, from what year to what year.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and they're a decent company, and I think it's a great they went with them. It's a no-name company, which, Matt Hawkins brought up, getting shelf space might be difficult, but not too difficult if OSEG does it right. Like, that's my
Giving what space?
Shelf space.
Oh.
Like, more or less, what I want OSEG to do is go to CSA. Hey, CSA, you know that little deal you got with Canadian Tire? Yeah. Well, time to flex your muscles. See, we have all these Ottawa Fury FC jerseys for the Ottawa team in Ottawa.
Yeah.
All the Canadian Tire stores in Ottawa should be selling them.
In Ottawa.
Not selling
DeSalvo Sports is a sponsor of the Fury. Why?
they're probably gonna go there as well, but it's
They better.
Yeah, they should.
And they won't.
Elgin should as well.
Yeah.
Because it'd be great. It's
Elgin has TFC Impact, and I expect Elgin to.
yeah. If Elgin does it,
But now
it'll be great.
Elgin, because since Montreal joined the MLS, now they're mostly
Because it's
Montreal.
closer.
Because they're closer.
Yeah.
And they're not doing shit.
And they still have all the old TFC shit that they couldn't sell.
Yeah.
all the unsellables, they're still there.
Yeah, they're
Great
gonna
deals, by
continue.
the way.
Yeah, we'll go there in 2 years' time. It'll be 50%
You can still
off.
find the old Team Canada jersey with the 3 stripes down this side.
Yeah.
They got new ones now,
Nice.
and they look cool.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
They got rid of this like white line collar bullshit. that they had.
Yeah, I think Umbro realized, we're not
Oops.
selling. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Move.
Yeah. So I like Admiral because, like you mentioned, they used to be huge and they're smaller now. So we're not gonna get something that's recycled and handed down like the Impact did with the Sporting KC.
Yeah, they're going to look
rehash
into
stuff.
it. They're going, we have to build our brand name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Adidas style recycled stuff.
Yeah. They're going to, okay, well, so-and-so has that style of jersey. Okay, so that style's out the window, but it's a nice style. No, they have it. We're not using it. We have to make it for us.
Yeah. So they're gonna put effort into it, which is great, and they're big enough.
And I
that they're-
think that's going to help create our identity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
The fact that we're going way off the board with who's providing the jersey, bam.
yeah, that was... then, of course, you see on Twitter saying, what's your suggestions? Do you want solid, stripes, swoops? Building identity hashtag.
And
Best
and then John yesterday.
That was great. We were talking to him about the kits. He was just showing us. They drew up 5 different style polo shirts, different sizes, to give to the club for them to more or less see what they thought of it. The polo shirt he was wearing, more or less the logo was just pressed on like a sticker, but it's going to be a woven in. So I figured that one. They're not going to spend that much money for a tester shirt.
Right.
Then we're talking about ideas for jerseys. He goes to me, well, I haven't seen any from you.
And we both gave him the look like, you want suggestions? Okay,
If anyone
sure.
remembers how many friggin' 50,000 jerseys I sent in, I suggested.
Yep.
So I went through, I dropped the ball on 2 of them, but I went through using the idea they want to use red, black as their main colors.
Yeah.
So the home jerseys I posted on our Facebook group, so.
I even told him to his face, we want a black home jersey.
Yeah.
We were praying for all black.
Yeah,
Like,
we want a majority black. home
Matt
jersey.
Hawkins was commenting that he'd burn in that, but I mean, sacrifices, right?
Go cry me some.
I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I want a black jersey.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
say black.
Well, okay, at the start of games, like when I have on the 2 scarves. I get warm. I do get warm, but after a while, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Suck it up. And let's face it, when we're going to have games in August, when it starts to get colder, well, every other team has yellow and we have black. Guess what? We'll be a bit warmer than they will. Maybe by 1 degree. But it's still 1 degree warmer than they are.
Imagine a black team in the snow.
snow game in Ottawa. It'll be great. Like, okay, not a real snow game like CFL snow games, but you see flurries coming down all game.
Yeah.
That'd give us a perfect opportunity for Winter Wonderland chance right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Apart from that, scarf ideas.
Yes, I posted them up on our main page and our group page. I still have to post up on the website.
And you emailed them.
Yeah, I emailed them, everyone, the best logos I could, because I made them a bit too big in Illustrator.
I think they were great.
Yeah, but if you look at, anyways, they're good. They're nice and pretty. There's 15 scarves up. I've taken some from Roughneck that have suggested. And I've taken some from, there's 4 from Global Scarves that they suggested. I kind of like Global Scarves because they suggested 4, not 20. Oh no, they suggested 10. They said, here's some original ideas.
Yeah.
They weren't copycat, they were original. And some of the Roughnecks were original as well. So what I did, I put the 15 down, labeled them. People vote on them. Pick your top 3, put them in order. First to last, left to right.
And it's the decision is unanimous. Argyle is number 1.
Yeah, keep saying that. But the idea is unless 75% want first choice is scarf number 2, then scarf number 2 is it. But if it's below that, we're going to look at the most occurring number. I think it's called the median.
Most occurring number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You're
median,
right. You're right.
Mode.
What's the mode?
It's the mode.
But anyway.
See, this is stuff I learned in grade 7.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's how we're going to vote on it. There's so many. We want to do it in April, so get your votes in. Because, August. Get your votes in, because the sooner we can get the idea that we want to use it, the sooner we can pick our manufacturer, the sooner we can place the order, the sooner we can get the pre-orders in. We're going to order 50, so if we get 50 people ordering all of them right off the bat, we're going to be fine. But we need to get those pre-orders in, because last time we were struggling. We kept trying to tell people, get your pre-orders, get your pre-orders.
Yeah.
And this time, I'm not going to approve of any leeway for, you've been with the group for how long? It's okay if you buy at $20. No, you missed a pre-order. You're going to pay at $25. That's it. That's all.
We're going to flex our muscle.
Well, the idea of the pre-order is so we can get all the scarves in.
Yeah.
So we can cover our bases. I don't mind if, we got all our scarves in, but we haven't ordered it yet, and let's say Mustafa's brother comes and say, hey, have you guys put in the order yet? No, we're going to do that Friday. Can I get one? Sure, we'll get the money from you.
Yeah.
That's no problem. If we know we got the pre-ordered fill, we'll give you an extra week or 2.
So we can go case by case.
Yeah, case by case scenario. We'll give another week or 2 after we get the minimum requirement. Then we'll order it in.
Yeah.
Just for any last minute. And then we can order the scarves. So
basically what Stefan is trying to get at is that we want a guaranteed pre-order number. So, because we do calculate this, and by we I mean he does. And he
already has
us doing that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Excel did it for me.
So because we are a non-for-profit, but technically are because we want to generate money for the club, not for our personal selves, but for the club.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is the way we're doing it now. So it's only fair. Like, we need a minimum number settled and guaranteed with the money already sent in or given.
Yeah.
Then we can actually go ahead and be like, okay, hey, scarf company, give it to us. Come on.
Yeah,
lay it on me.
We're going to have the taxes and the shipping covered, so when it shows up at the door, whoever it gets delivered to doesn't get a huge bill. Yeah, Anton gets a huge bill. But, oh yes, Stefan, we planned for this. Stefan banged into my head that yellow envelope seal that said scarf money on it has the money. Shows up at the door. There's all the money in it. Per dime. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I owe an extra $5 because inflation went up. Oh well.
In the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Anton goes, okay, fine. Here's the $5 extra. Hey, Stefan, you owe me $5.
Oh, speaking of which, last thing on the agenda, banners.
We came up with our banner. Ours is the Fury. Not because of the name, actually. It's based off of what Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Don't ask me the book. Don't ask me the episode. Which one? Some house.
This was Matt, right?
No, Benjamin.
Benjamin.
I
Right, it was Benjamin.
I kind of
Oops.
want to stay away from the Fury name because I didn't want to just be the club thing. It seemed just piggybacking.
Yeah.
But the idea behind it, I loved. It was solid. It wasn't a piggybacking idea. It just happened the idea coincided with the club name. So you know what? I like it.
It's for the nerds.
Yeah.
It's for the nerds.
And I don't even know this thing, and I consider myself a nerd. Figure that one out.
One we had up was you liked. I suggested "We Are a Tale Told by an Idiot."
Yeah, that's for a TIFO idea.
Oh, cool. Full of sound and fury.
Yeah. I think that would be great as a TIFO.
Yes.
Because let's face it, how do we describe ourselves when people ask about supporters groups? Oh, you know those idiots in the stands? Like, that's it. Because most people, when they see supporters, that's what they think. Oh, they're just a bunch of idiots.
Yep.
So
That's
you
us.
know what? We take it.
Yeah,
We run
it's
with
us.
it.
Yeah.
We're the idiots,
And we
have
embrace it.
fun.
Yeah.
Unlike you guys who just sit there and watch the game and complain how bored you are.
Because over there, it's so quiet.
Yeah, so it should be good. We had the voting up for the TIFO. We're not going to use the club cash to pay for the TIFO or the banners because I want to use that club cash to get us the scarves.
Okay.
So we're going to be asking for donations for the team. The TIFO's already been made. The cloth is already set aside, so that's no problem. The banner, we're probably looking at $20 to $30.
Okay.
The other banner, support local football, which is just guaranteed.
Yep.
That might put us back $60.
Oh, no.
Well, it's three different pieces of cloth sewn and hemmed together.
Okay, great.
Because if anyone remembers, this is our city banner from Capital City days. Remember how the ends were starting to get frayed?
Yeah.
Support local football. If you ask the boy jerseys, you may get some luck.
See what Jamie's got and if he's got one kicking around.
Yeah.
So that wraps up episode 19 of the Banter. So thank you to the, well, it's a self-thank you because I'm thanking the two villains in Vanier for reuniting after the last couple episodes, me being absent. So thank you guys for taking over. Mustafa, again, always great to have you with us. And to all the listeners, please send in your suggestions if you have any for, whether it's for the jerseys, the scarves, tifo, banner, whatever. Please just lay it on us because we're finally generating some momentum, but I want to continue that. And
Drunken Fury.
So. And also thanks to Stefan for his behind-the-scenes work and all of that, and to everybody who's been supporting all season long. We have at least one more match opportunity to go to, which is Tuesday night against GPS Portland. For those who can, please do make it. So until next episode, we're signing off, and thank you. Good night.